The actor Anthony Head, best known for his roles in TV shows including Ted Lasso, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and a famous Gold Blend coffee advert from the 1980s, has died at the age of 72. His daughter said he passed away peacefully of complications due to pneumonia.
There's some things I can just smell. It's like a sixth sense.
No, actually, that would be one of the 5.
One of the most gifted and popular actors of his generation, he'll be sadly missed.
Welcome to the Major Slayage Trivia Crypt Patreon exclusive. Today we're doing a special episode paying tribute to Anthony Stewart Head, who of course played Giles and recently passed away. He had a storied career. He worked for decades. We could just spend hours listing his credits, but I don't feel like that really paints the picture of the man. So I've chosen a few selections and fun, interesting things that I found. You have as well, and we're going to share those with you now. Head was born on February 20th, 1954, which is one day before my birthday, in Camden Town, London, which Camden Town, if that phrase sounds familiar, that's the home of my favorite stout that we get at the Swan Inn in Rostocklin, Wales, Camden Town Stout. We've covered him a few times in previous Trivia Crypts, so we'll just touch on a few of those things before I throw it over to you. But his brother Murray Head was also an actor, played Judas in the original cast album of Jesus Christ Superstar. And both brothers portrayed Freddie Trumper in the musical Chess at the Prince Edward Theatre in London in the 1980s.
That's so wild. Imagine playing the same role your brother did.
I believe Murray originated it, and Anthony closed out the show, the same production.
That's wild.
And of course, in the 80s, we've talked about before, we'll roll some of the footage here. He shot to fame in a series of long-running interconnected commercials for Nescafe Gold Blend Instant Coffee, which became a soap opera of sorts, charting a couple's years-long romance over cups of instant coffee. He even reprised the role in an American version of the ads for Taster's Choice, which featured Head using an American accent.
Is this getting serious?
I think so.
Well, how do you feel about it? Just imagine if you hadn't run out of coffee.
In 1990-91, he played Dr. Frankenfurter on the West End revival of the Rocky Horror Show at London's Piccadilly Theatre. His rendition of the song Sweet Transvestite was even released as a single.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what did you have?
So I really just I agree with Eric that, we could do a whole hour-long episode about his entire life and all of his accolades, but I really just went through and I picked the things that spoke to my heart. So there's no through line for the facts that I'm throwing out other than that. His mom was an actress, Helen Shingler, and she lived to be 100 years old.
Oh, wow.
She was born in 1919 and passed in 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he had the genes. If not for getting sick, we might have had decades more Anthony. Tony, as his friends called him. Tony.
Yeah. I didn't think I could love him more, but I read a little bit about what his life was like when he was not performing or living in LA. He met his partner, Sarah Fisher, in 1982, and she was an animal welfare advocate. And they actually never married. Because both of them were pretty indifferent to marriage, but they both considered themselves to be a married couple, and they remained together until Fisher's death in December of last year, 2025.
Just a few months ago.
Yeah. They had 2 daughters, Emily and Daisy, who were also both actresses, and they lived on Tilly Farm in Farnborough, which is a 90-acre property on the outskirts of Bath, Somerset. And they actually filmed some scenes from Buffy at his property. I am going to have Eric plop a video right here of Tony talking about his farm with his wife.
Why do I choose to live here rather than some sprawling metropolis like LA? Well, it's this or the Pico storm drain. Go figure.
Anthony Head and his partner Sarah Fisher, who died in December 2025, live near Timsbury, close to Bath. They were both passionate about animal welfare and had a farm where they looked after rescued horses and donkeys.
There's something extremely grounding about living and working with animals, that it keeps your feet on the floor. And when I come back here with me la ways, doesn't take too long. you know, you muck out a horse, or you're just around animals, and they just, as I say, they teach you an enormous amount.
Had accepted a role in the UK series Jonathan Creek, but had to drop out of the cast after the pilot episode to accept the role of Rupert Giles in Buffy.
When you read the script, you were laughing out loud and said immediately, "I've got to be a part of it."
You bet. Yeah. I was in a diner and laughed a lot. And
no, well, there's that weird Taster's Choice guy laughing.
He's
to
laughing
himself.
on his own. Yeah. What the hell's going on?
After he left the regular cast for the last couple seasons of Buffy and was spending more time in the UK, he would frequently make guest appearances on Jonathan Creek.
Oh, that's cool. He was actually a huge fan of Doctor Who, another British television staple, and he auditioned for the role of the 8th Doctor.
He would have been a good Doctor.
Oh my gosh, he would have been a great Doctor in the TV movie Doctor Who, the movie. He later appeared as a villain in School Reunion in 2006 and Doctor Who, The Infinite Quest in 2007.
Also, weirdly, this just sounds like a cool project. In 2006, he shot a pilot for a U.S. series called Him and Us alongside Kim Cattrall, which was loosely based on the life of Elton John, but it never got picked up.
Interesting.
And speaking of not picked up, of course, there was the long-rumored Ripper spinoff that was going to be a series and then was going to be a 90-minute BBC special at one point, and it just never got off the ground.
I can't even talk about it. I think we may have talked about his accent, but although he played Giles with an upper class British accent, his real accent is North London, or more closely related to a North London accent.
Okay.
And he got to use it in Band Candy when Giles reverted to his teenage self.
Listen to me.
No, you listen to me. I'm your watcher, so you do what I tell you. Now, sod off.
Which I find so interesting that from a character standpoint, when he was rebelling against his destiny to be a watcher, when he finally picked up that mantle, he also changed the way he spoke.
That is interesting. Although I wonder from a character bio perspective, I know we've talked about this before, like growing up when my cousins would come up from Kentucky, I'd spend the weekend with them. I'd pick up their accent. So it could just be that going to the Watchers Council, being surrounded by stuffy, upper crusty Britishmen, he could have just started to assimilate the way they spoke as well.
Counterpoint.
Okay.
There are multiple dialects and accents that are really indicative of a class. Mm-hmm. And I would venture to say that those stuffy old fucks in the council,
they're all putting it on.
Not just putting it on, but that he would feel compelled to not have people commenting on his unprofessional sounding accent all the time. Yeah. You know, thank goddess I didn't acquire a Baltimore accent, because I can honestly say that, like, I would have probably done everything in my power to not speak that way. Mm-hmm. So I don't agree. I think he made the character of Giles probably made a conscious effort to not speak like a North Londoner.
Well, are you going to rule on it, make it official? So we know that he was in Repo, the Genetic Opera, which is one of my favorite movies. When I say that, I'm talking about a pool of about 20 films that live pretty close to my heart. It's not like my top 3, but because Basic Instinct is one of my favorite movies. I talk all the time about these.
I hated it, by the way.
Oh, you could go watch our watch along of Basic Instinct.
Hated it.
Did you hate it, or you just found him despicable?
I hated it.
Really?
I found him so despicable that I hated it.
Okay, well, that's disappointing, but because we're gonna watch it every year because you won't remember it. So it was after seeing him sing in Once More with Feeling that Saw director Darren Lynn Bousman reached out and offered him the role.
Shit.
In Repo.
That's cool.
And of course, he was in Ted Lasso as well.
He also, this is a bummer, was originally cast in Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street 2007, the movie.
The Johnny Depp one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tim
wow.
Burton, as a ghost of one of Sweeney Todd's victims. His character would have sung the Ballad of Sweeney Todd and the epilogue. These songs were actually recorded, but eventually cut before filming began, as director Tim Burton felt that the songs were too theatrical for the film.
For a Broadway musical movie. Interesting.
Blurred.
Burton's a wacko. Like, he's very talented, and I like a lot of his movies.
But he's cuckoo.
He seems like a strange bird.
Yeah.
So of course, the timing and all the death around it, the Buffy reboot getting canceled. We don't know what could have become of the character of Giles. They would obviously, based on this news, would have had to rethink things on the fly, unless they took we did a video series when we first started the show on TikTok where we talked about our plans for the Buffy reboot before there were any details. And in ours, Giles died in the pilot. It was what spurred Buffy to action. But if they hadn't done that, they would have had to rethink, what to do with the character. Did you know this? I think I did, but I didn't know it well. And I did a little bit more of a deep dive into it in researching for this. In 2023, he reprised the role of Giles in an audio drama called Slayers, a Buffyverse story. Have you not heard of this?
No.
It was co-written by Amber Benson.
Shut up.
And he starred alongside Buffy co-stars James Marsters, Charisma Carpenter, Amber Benson, Juliet Landau, Emma Caulfield Ford, and Danny Strong. In it, an alternate universe version of Cordelia, where she's the Slayer in her universe, comes to our universe to recruit Spike, who is basically a watcher to a young, newly activated Slayer, to go back to her universe to fight her universe's version of Drusilla.
Wow.
And it's like an audio drama that you can get on Audible. So it might be worth checking that out.
100%.
Maybe we could even find a way to do something about it, cover it for our Patreon. We'll give it a listen.
That's great.
His final roles were a guest turn as Lord Sheffield in the second season of Bridgerton and as Julian Marks in the Amazon Prime movie Upgraded.
He has not played two characters named Rupert. He has actually played three characters named Rupert.
Buffy, Ted Lasso. What's the last one?
Rupert Thorne in Amazon Prime's Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan.
That's the John Krasinski.
Yep.
Shit, we watched the first couple episodes of that. I remember liking it. We just didn't stick with it.
Yeah, so
we did a lot of that during the pandemic. We'd start a thing, and I remember there was a show on Apple with Jason Momoa about a bunch of blind barbarians.
Yeah.
And we watched it, and we liked it just fine. And then we never watched it.
Never watched it again. Yeah.
So that's kind of how Jack Ryan was. Maybe knowing Anthony's in there, maybe we'll go back and
give it a shot.
Yeah.
I have two more.
Okay. Yeah. Let us have it.
So this one in particular is for Dad. Did you know that my father is a huge Gilbert and Sullivan fan?
I did know that.
Appearing at the Savoy Theatre in London as Captain Hook and Peter Pan, and the Pirate King in The Pirates of Penzance in 2003 to 2004.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, storied career. Just the guy never stopped working. The guy was in demand but still managed, as we saw in that video, have a quiet life with his partner, taking care of animals. Like, he didn't get swept up. And I think being a famous actor hits differently in the UK than it does here.
I agree.
For better and for worse. I remember the cast of the show 2 Pints of Lager and a Packet of Crisps, one of my favorite UK sitcoms from the early 2000s.
Just built this massive following.
Could you imagine if 2 Pints was as big as it was in America? We'd be Keiko.
If we'd have had our careers that we've had in America, we'd be ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous. I worked it out. I mean, I say worked it out. This is guesswork. I didn't sit down, but I spend quite a bit of my missus is American, so I spend a bit of time over there now. And I'm starting to understand what American market is like for doing the work that we do. We'd be worth about 30 million each. 40, it'd be insane. I don't know about you. I'm not.
No. Still waiting for the repeat checks. It's on BBC iPlayer all the time. I don't get paid a piss off for it.
A penny.
Nothing.
They were famous. They couldn't go anywhere without getting mobbed, but they were making working class wages.
Yeah.
On a BBC show.
Can I close it out with a quote about who he was as a person from Brett Goldstein?
I would love that.
So Ted Lasso co-star and writer Brett Goldstein, who played
Roy Kent,
said that Head was a brilliant actor who played the worst person in the world, which was an incredible skill because he was the best person.
We are going to miss this guy. We are going to miss the work he could have given us. We are going to miss whatever wisdom he was there to pass on and delightful morning talk show interviews that he might have done. But we have the legacy of his work. We have Giles, who will live in our hearts forever. It's really, really tragic. I was not like prepared for this. I wasn't aware he was sick or any of it. It just really, this one hits hard. This one hurts. It's funny. The guys in my band texted me about it. Like,
really,
none of them even watch Buffy.
What did they say?
I just sent a thing. I think my bass player sent a tweet that was almost like, "Hey, check on your friends who are Buffy fans today." And then there was just a whole like conversation in the band chat about just, you know, what's going on. And I explained how what a big fan I was, but how large he loomed. I said he was on your pop culture Mount Rushmore. And so, yeah, we are going to miss him. Thanks for hanging with us today. We're back with the regular Trivia Crypts next week. But yeah, we felt like we wanted to do something to honor him, and we appreciate sharing it with you. So until next time.
Does it get easy?
What do you want me to say?
Lie to me.
Yes, it's terribly simple. The good guys are always stalwart and true. The bad guys are easily distinguished by their pointy horns or black hats. And we always defeat them and save the day. No one ever dies, and everybody lives happily ever after.